Hello everyone, this is Link in the channel for Higher Self. Welcome to the Satsang with the Self. In these Satsang videos, I channel the Higher Self. We are all a multidimensional state. We exist within this physical world, but we also exist beyond this physical world. In spirituality, we learn to expand our perception and integrate a non-physical state of awareness. If we continue to expand ourselves and enter into these greater non-physical states, we'll discover a greater intelligence as well. We'll discover an aspect of ourselves that has a universal understanding, which means that all information is available to us. This higher self experience is here to guide you. It's here to help you create the fullest life that your heart desires. I offer these teachings to you to help you align with your own higher self and also to help your human self have an easier experience in this human lifetime. My videos provide information and they also provide frequencies of energy. This energy helps you to open your spiritual heart, to experience greater peace, and to have a greater state of oneness in this human world. For this video teaching, I'm going to speak upon a topic and answer some questions that was presented by one of my audience members. I'll begin by reading what they wrote, and then I'll start the channeling. This person has asked, could a person have a Kundalini awakening and not be aware of having it? If one has not had this experience, does it limit their potential rise in vibration? How does this happen? Thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's channeling on the topic of Kundalini awakening. I'll now begin. Dear one, close your eyes. Feel your spiritual heart. Be at peace. Relax. Relax into your state of awareness. Notice yourself as silent, still, open space. Your awareness is empty. You are empty. You are the emptiness holding life's forms. Feel yourself as the open space. Feel the space around your physical body. Feel yourself expanded into life. You are consciousness. You are an eternal experience of living. Always present. Always aware. You exist as consciousness. Feel yourself as open space, empty, silent, and peaceful. Stay here as the awareness, feeling your heart, feeling the open space. You asked a still one to speak about Kundalini. Is it possible for someone to have had a Kundalini awakening and not even have realized it? Well, of course it is. There are things that happen in our realities that we do not realize all the time. We perceive things that are happening, and sometimes we don't perceive things that are happening. Sometimes things are happening right underneath our nose and we're simply not aware of them. A Kundalini awakening DO1 is when the internal energy system receives a spark of life. You could call it that. You see, when your soul consciousness desires to awaken in your reality, your soul opens itself into this human experience. It projects itself more fully into this human experience. Your spiritual heart opens because that's the center of you, and your original creative energy shines more strongly. This is that original spark, and when your spiritual heart opens, more energy begins to travel, and it flows throughout your body, your emotional energy system, and also your human mind. Your soul's presence is the creator within your human forms. Now, of course, there is also a universal consciousness of which you are part, and some would even say of which you are. We would say that as well, but many of us, of course, have not realized that which is right underneath our noses. The universal intelligence, awareness, and energy adds its own life to sustain all of the forms. And as a personal consciousness, as a projection of God consciousness, you add energy to where your awareness is focused. So when you, as a personal state of consciousness, desire to awaken into this reality, you shine yourself more brightly here. You add energy. Now, depending upon the state of your body, mind, and emotions, the energy will manifest different experiences. For some of you, you already have a peaceful state of mind. For some of you, you already have normal lives that are easy and effortless and natural. For some of you, your realities are very simple and plain. There's nothing wrong with this. In fact, when you receive more Kundalini energy, your very simple, balanced lives don't have any violent upheavals. The inner is always creating the outer. And so if your outer life is simple and normal, not a lot happening, peaceful, and so on, then your inner self also has these same qualities. So when you add more energy to these parts of yourself, there's not a lot of blockages or limitations in your personal state to then get exploded into. When you add energy, the energy is going to expand the channels of your physical body. And if your body's relatively healthy, you won't have any health problems. The energy is also going to expand into your psyche. It's going to put more creative power into your personal mind. So if the qualities of your personality are balanced and easy and not very conflicting, then you won't have any psychological problems. When you add more energy, you will just feel more alive. Please understand, we're not judging anyone, we're not criticizing anyone's experience, but there's a reality to the nature of life. The design of life is such that when you add energy to something, it becomes greater. So if you have peace in your life, the peace becomes greater. If you have resistance in your life, the resistance becomes greater. If you have illness or imbalance in your physical body, that illness and imbalance can become greater. Your soul's energy is pure creative energy, and you operate under the law of free will. The universe has given you permission to create anything that you can think of in your mind. any desires you can express into your reality, and you share your desires with this world. All of our personal realities are interconnected for this human experience. So when you add energy to your mind, body, or emotions, all of your creations become stronger. And if you have a selfish desire, that selfish desire will receive more energy and become more empowered. When the energy of selfishness, whatever it was, however it was manifesting, did not receive a lot of extra energy, it was just a small theme in our life. Maybe every once in a while it came up and caused a problem with someone we love or a career or some part of our life. But it wasn't that big. It wasn't getting energized so often. So it was something that would just come and go and be easy to manage. But now that you've added energy to your entire system, all the parts of yourself get amplified. You're more creatively powerful because your soul is expanding into your life. And your soul is the creator of your life. The more of your soul is here, the more powerful you are. Also, the more aware and the more intelligent, because those are the soul's three qualities. Add more soul energy, you add an expansion into the expression of your personality qualities, and so that little selfishness becomes a bigger selfishness. You become more powerful in all of your relationships. So now you start to influence the people in your life and the world around you in a greater way. So you might find yourself having more difficulty dealing with this immatured part of your psyche. This psyche still holding on to the ideas of selfishness in a destructive way. When we add more energy, everything gets amplified, and there's a benefit for this. As we said, you're free, and you're able to create anything you wish in this reality. You experience the result of your creation. And if a little energy is going into some part of your life, you might not have the motivation to work on it and change it. You might not see all that it needs to show you, so you learn and grow. When there's a little energy going to something, it's a little experience. You're not very aware of it, you're not understanding it so much, and you're also not creating it so much. Add more of your soul into that experience. Now you're more aware of it, you're more intelligent about it, and you're creating it more. So everything gets amplified together. A Kundalini awakening will awaken more power in all of our human characteristics, making them larger manifestations in our awareness, giving us a greater understanding of how we're creating our realities, and of course, showing us more powerful creative energy. We amplify the limited parts of our life in the same way we amplify the positive parts of our life. Just because something is positive doesn't mean it's going to stay the same, and just because something is limited doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong. We learn and grow in all the parts of our life, and when you add more energy, we grow more quickly. So these negative parts, these resistant parts of your psyche, they get amplified with the addition of more creative energy. And that then gives us an opportunity to learn how we are creating our realities. These experiences of difficulty and suffering become the motivation that drives our spiritual awakening. Just like we made an example of adding energy to a personality characteristic, the Kundalini also adds energy into the physical body, into the physical states of health. And so sometimes during a Kundalini awakening, we notice that we have greater energy imbalances, greater hormone problems, and sometimes we get an appearance of a physical illness. Now, the best part of adding more energy is that you bring up these smaller pieces to the surface of your consciousness. Because remember, your awakening is an increase of energy and awareness, so you're becoming more aware of what already was inside of you. And the awakening increases your intelligence, so now you're supported in understanding what's happening in your experience. You're learning more clearly how your ideas and your desires about your experience have been shaping what happens in your life. So as you charge your body, you might notice, there's more imbalances. There's hormone problems because hormones are very responsive to non-physical energy. The hormones come from the endocrine system, and the endocrine system is located in the same physical locations as your chakras. And so there's a very powerful mind-body connection that is related to how the hormones are appearing in your body. The job of the hormones is to tell all the organs what to do. So the nerve impulses work as electrical signals telling everything what to do, but the hormones work as chemical signals telling the body what to do. When you increase the Kundalini energy, you increase your chakras, you feel more alive, you feel more connected to life, more responsive to life. All of your emotions become stronger. All of your energy becomes stronger as it flows into the physical body. Stronger energy means it moves the physical experience in a greater way, including moving the hormone production. Sometimes the addition of more energy exposes to us the weaknesses we already had in our physical body or in our lifestyle. Some people haven't been taking good care of their physical bodies. They've not been loving their body and listening to their body. Because if you care for your body and you listen to your body, you'll notice how it responds to everything that's happening. Every choice you make, every food you eat, every thought you have, every emotion you feel, if you're aware, you will notice how all of these are affecting your physical body. You'll notice cause and effect. And if you love your body, you'll notice, I have to change my thoughts. They don't feel good in my body. And when I think this way repeatedly over the course of a day, I feel physically exhausted and tired. Yeah, you're learning about the effect of mind on body. It's a beautiful realization. And when you add more energy, you amplify all of this, so now you bring it up right in front of yourselves. So as we talk to you, dear ones, it's important to understand that many of you have experienced exactly what we're talking about. But you haven't called it a Kundalini awakening. Does it matter the words that you hang upon an experience? Not really. The words are useful for communication purposes. Instead of talking for 20 minutes describing the experience you've had, you can talk for a few seconds and just throw out a few short words. Yes, I'm having Kundalini awakening symptoms. Now, the person's going to assume that what you mean by the word is what they understand the word to be. And so they're going to project their own definition onto you and say, wow, you've had Kundalini awakening symptoms. You know, I had that as well. But your experience might be bliss and happiness and love, and the other person's experience might be internal chaos and an appearance of a physical illness. Kundalini awakening, Kundalini symptoms, this whole Kundalini experience has become a very overused diagnosis. It's accurate. When you wake up, you have more of the energy shining through yourself. Kundalini means that which is hidden. The reference is that which is hidden, such as inside of a cave or inside of a pool of water, meaning it's hidden somewhere we cannot see it, but it's inside of it. And spiritual awakening allows us to unlock this inner energy and this inner knowledge. It unlocks more of our consciousness that is hidden inside of ourselves. Some people romanticize Kundalini and say it's a goddess, and it dances in your body and it tells you what to do. And we would say that's not what the word means. There are gods and goddesses, and there are stories and myths and legends describing different things that happen in the spiritual awakening process. But the word Kundalini doesn't refer to a woman or an entity or some angelic or spiritual being. It refers to that which is hidden. That which is hidden. So there's practices to awaken the hidden energy, to awaken the greater perception of yourself as consciousness in the physical reality. Because remember, when you come into life more, when you care about life more, when you participate in life more, you are adding yourself, and that's where the creative energy comes from. The creative energy doesn't come from some entity that tapped you on the head and said, "Bless you, there you go." If you watch your experience, you notice you expanded more into your life. You awakened into your experience and you felt more alive. There are entities, there are non-physical beings, and oftentimes people like to give responsibility to them when they're having difficulty understanding what else is happening. We've done it for thousands of years of human history. We didn't understand the weather, so we would call it on the god Zeus or the god Poseidon. Yes, Zeus created the lightning storm. Yes, Poseidon created the ocean waves and the storm that came upon the land. There would always be some mythical being because we didn't understand how life worked. All we knew was that people can push rocks and people can have conversations and people can interact. So there must be invisible people moving the world. And this was a popularized idea, and in the modern day, some souls still feel very attracted to those types of ideas. Even in the modern day in certain countries, there's still worship of these invisible gods and goddesses. Now, there are non-physical beings that exist. There are many remarkable, very powerful and influential non-physical beings that exist, but we must be careful to give credit to something when we do not actually perceive that that thing or that being is interacting with the experience. It is much wiser to simply say, "I don't know," than it is to tie a fantastical story of myths and legends and gods and goddesses onto an experience. The mind likes to hold on to information because it makes the mind feel like it's in control. If I have a story, then I'm in control and I can feel safe and I know what to do and I know how to participate. Because for the human mind, not knowing can be very uncomfortable. Humanity didn't know what created the weather patterns. Humanity didn't know why people got sick or others stayed healthy. And that was very frightening because they felt powerless. To not have information means you cannot act. You cannot do anything. And for a person to walk around feeling powerless is very intimidating. You feel like a small human in a big world. And so mankind needed some information. And the stories that were given to them relied upon their hope, their fantasy, their belief of something they could not validate. And it kept people not being afraid so much. It kept people not asking so many questions. Now, in other cultures of the world, they wanted to investigate. Even within the country of India, which is largely known today of having a lot of god worship and goddess worship, there were groups of yogis and spiritual beings, human beings, that were seeking out the information as a scientific study. And that's where the word Kundalini came from. It was from groups of beings that were trying to explain and communicate with each other the nature of the energetic science that was happening inside the human mind body. And so they created different words to describe this science. Now the word spread, of course, and other people like to jump on these words and say, yes, it's a god doing it. Yes, it's a goddess doing it. Instead of realizing, no, it's myself as the creator of my reality doing it with the God-given power that I am. And so we must be careful, dear ones, to look for evidence and not believe in things we cannot validate. Otherwise, we're walking around like foolish individuals pretending to be educated. We really want to validate our understanding, not trick ourselves into believing something that makes us feel powerless but keeps us still ignorant. When you look at an experience, because after all, the Kundalini awakening is the expansion of yourself. So your awareness, intelligence, and energy as a consciousness grows. So when you look into an experience and you participate in life with the desire to understand, you will start to notice what is happening. And then you can feel the energy and see the energy. And you can realize what's actually occurring in your reality. And that's empowering. Now you have something to work with. Instead of praying to a god to help you, Now you can work directly in your experience as the creator you are. It's so very important, dear ones, that you try to validate your experiences through direct participation, because that's how you awaken to a greater creator. And you are a creator. You're not just a witness to life. You're not here to just watch and witness and pray to God or pray to some beings for the happiness that you desire. You're here to be a greater awareness, yes, but you're also here to be a greater intelligence and a greater creative power. You ask, dear one, is it necessary to have a Kundalini awakening? Well, the way we explained it, dear one, we hope you understand that everybody's having one. The more that you, which is hidden, your consciousness is that which is truly hidden, right? God hidden inside of form. You as the creator hidden from yourself, right? That which is hidden, right? That which is hidden within. What's the greatest thing that's hidden? That's you. I can see my body, but I can't see my consciousness. I can see my emotions, but I can't see my consciousness. I can see the activity of my mind, but I can't see my consciousness. What's hidden the most? You. You are that which is hidden. And as you come into your reality more creative energy comes through. And now all the forms get more excited and they start creating more. So is it necessary to have one? Well, yes, because that's the awakening process. But is it necessary to have all the symptoms that people often attribute to a Kundalini awakening experience? And we say, no, it's not. Because, dear one, if you cultivate a higher understanding, if you cultivate compassion and peace and love, if you cultivate critical thinking and also empathy, if you raise your emotional intelligence, as well as your mind's intelligence, if you raise the health of your body, if you're doing things to care for the creative expression of yourself, then when you add more energy, you won't have these disruptive experiences. The Kundalini symptoms are because areas of a human being that are out of balance just got amplified with the addition of more energy. So we don't have to have those if we're following a proper lifestyle, and that includes cultivating our mind. You see, in the modern day world, especially in the modern countries, there's a lack of intellectual teachings, a lack of information being distributed that helps human beings become better people. Modern day world is lacking of many teachings of morality. Of course, we all know within our heart what is right and wrong, but how many people in this world are kind to each other? And how many people in this world are terrified of each other? Add energy to a kind person, and they become more radiant and happy. They become more kind. Add energy to a fear-based person, and they become more terrified. Add energy to someone who's paranoid because the information of the world is always trying to make them feel unsafe, like something is always trying to hurt them. Then, dear one, then they have an extremely strong experience of anxiety inside of their minds. So what's missing from this world, dear one, is a cultivation of higher qualities of a human state of mind. And even in spirituality, people are looking for God, but they're not looking at their neighbors with kindness. They're not even talking to themselves with kindness. Some people meditate trying to get enlightened, and all they do is get angry at their own thoughts. Where's the wisdom in that? Add Kundalini to a person who is aggressive towards themselves, they're going to become even more violent inside of their heads. They're going to hate themselves and hate their life because they're adding more energy. Like we said earlier, the beautiful part of adding more soul level energy is that you're also adding more awareness and more intelligence. So this is going to be a process of awakening that helps you understand and helps you transform these resistant, limited parts of yourself. The Kundalini awakening will heal these dysfunctions. The Kundalini awakening will make them stronger so you can heal them more quickly, so you can understand them more quickly. Anything being amplified gives you more information about it because it's bigger inside of your awareness. So in the modern day world, something that's greatly missing are teachings of morality, teachings of how to treat yourself, how to love yourself and care for yourself, how to listen to your body and mind, because the information of the world is designed to make you sick. Here you are looking around the world and all you see are billboards and signs and advertisements telling you of the disease that you're going to get next. Telling you of the illness that the people around you are carrying that you must be terrified of. The information of the world, dear one, is designed to destroy your quality of life. Why? Because there's an awakening going on in this world. Add more energy, and the darkness that was always here within ourselves and within each other gets amplified. And the darkness comes to the surface so we can see it and so we can deal with it together. The beauty of Kundalini awakening is it's happening on the whole planet as there's a grand awakening of consciousness that we're all experiencing. And as you add energy to anything, it makes it stronger. And so we're seeing people having spiritual awakenings of love and light and bliss because that was dormant inside of themselves. And that got energized as well. So we're seeing an amplification of all the parts of the human experience. And it's putting it right in front of us. And if we wake up and realize that I'm the conscious creator, we discover the freedom that I can choose. I can choose how to think. I can choose how to feel. I can choose to let go of these ideas, to forgive these past experiences. I can choose to focus on what I want. I can channel my creative power. I can manifest a life that I am deciding to live. And every human being, they want happiness and they don't want suffering. But the problem with mankind is within ourselves, some of us have been taught to live in suffering, and we're not yet at that level of awakening where we understand we have the freedom to choose what it is we think about. So we think what is fed to us. We do what we are conditioned to do. Like we said, this is a global awakening, so with more energy, there's an amplification of all the forms of life. And there's also an amplification of awareness and intelligence, so those who are not yet awakened are becoming awakened. They're becoming awakened. The best thing that we all can do to support this awakening process is improve the parts of ourself, because what you can control as a creator are that which comes through you as your expression. You are all positioned at the center of your universe. You're all like little bubbles, all mixed together in a soapy bath of water. You're all little bubbles of consciousness, all reflecting each other. It's quite a unique design, this human reality, as God appears as infinite creators, creating a shared experience. So you create your understanding from the center of your sphere, and you shine it into the periphery. And you put that expression up as existence, and you perceive it as your life. You perceive it as your understanding, your beliefs, your emotions, your interpretations. You even attract the forms of the world that mirror your own understanding. Other people, they observe you and they receive your understanding. It's projected into their realities as well. It's a beautiful interconnected reality they call this human experience. It's remarkable how God has imagined it. And so as we wake up, we realize we must take responsibility for what comes through us and projects in front of us into our consciousness. We have to take responsibility for every thought we have, and we have to wake up as consciousness to become the creator of thought consciously. because we don't want the old story making these projections into our lives. With more presence of ourselves, we have more Kundalini energy. We have more energy. That which was hidden is being revealed. It's shining into our lives. We're becoming the creators. We're becoming the all-powerful, all-knowing selves. And so it benefits us to be discerning and to take responsibility and to choose the highest ideas that add the greatest states of happiness for ourselves and all life everywhere. Because what comes through you, you give to all life everywhere. And if you have a belief of something good for me and bad for everyone else, if you have one of these destructive, selfish desires where you're trying to benefit yourself and hurt everybody else, well, then you're going to amplify suffering in your reality as well. Your mind might believe it's good for you, but you're actually punishing yourself with that desire. Because the greatest desires are the one that add happiness everywhere. And you're a free will creator, so you can add happiness everywhere. It's as easy as choosing a thought designed to do just that. I am love. Such a beautiful, simple expression. The most powerful 3 words. I am love. Some of you could change the word love for a different vibration that you prefer, and it will be just as powerful because you are claiming yourself to be the existence you are having. I am God. I am one. Now, you don't have to restrict it to 3 words. You can define it as anything. I am radiant bliss and happiness. I am peace, love, and light. And what you're doing when you proclaim yourself as this is you're expressing that existence into your dream, into your reality of life, and you're putting it into the world. And that benefits everyone, because when you see a person radiating peace, love, and happiness, you feel it. It's a vibration that is good for all of mankind. When you declare yourself as something beautiful, sacred, powerful, and unifying, you help embrace all of humanity into a higher state of being. But when you create in fear and greed, because greed is rooted in fear, then you are telling the universe it's a limited, restrictive, dangerous place. And even though you're getting what you want, you're getting it in the energy of fear and greed. And so you're making the world darker and smaller, and you're closing yourself off from life. And so people look upon you and they feel pushed away, they feel shut out, and maybe they even get angry at you because you're so greedy and selfish. And so now you're creating a reality of low vibration. As the world attacks you and as you are afraid of the world, you're getting what you believe to be true. So it serves us best to be very discerning and take complete responsibility as the creators that we are. And most of this requires us to take responsibility for our own awakening, which means you have to feel yourself into your reality. That's why we guide you to open your heart and open your space of awareness. You have to become connected into the forms. To create with the forms, you have to create in your mind. And then you remove the past understanding from popping up as random thoughts. And you live in the present moment, putting the best expression into you to create the greatest future. You mold and shape the dream of life by honoring your spiritual heart, your soul's wisdom, and your oneness with all things everywhere. You, dear one, are the creator. You're the creator of life, And as you come into your life, the power is given to you, and the power is given to all that you perceive. This is what you're learning. This is what you're awakening into. So don't take this Kundalini concept and depersonalize it, because that makes you powerless. That keeps you ignorant. You don't see what's happening because something hidden is doing it. Some goddess, some being, or some random awakening happened within you. No, try to discover what's happening. Watch yourself. Notice what's happening within yourself. Each and every one of you is awakening more and more creative energy. So try to live with your heart open and your awareness open. Try to embrace your experience. And remember, dear ones, any discomfort, any symptoms of illness or psychological turmoil that you're experiencing, it requires you to reframe your understanding. Forgive the past. Stop attacking it. Stop fighting against it. Stop blaming the past experiences for causing you problems right now, because that's not the energy that will solve this health challenge. Stop being angry at the world. Everything's getting illuminated to be teachings for mankind's ascension. So stop being angry at the world and instead embrace it. Look at it, learn about it, understand what it is, and then make the best experience in relation to what you're observing. So if people are afraid, then be gentle, be kind and compassionate. If people are giving you bad advice, then don't take it. And offer good advice to the people that you love. The world, dear one, is not attacking you. The world, dear one, is inviting you to express yourself into it. And as this awakening continues, more of mankind is going to emerge in the state of creative strength and positivity. And so be responsible for your part in this process. Any illness, any problems you're having, because oftentimes the word Kundalini has this negative connotation, like it's some bad thing, some stressful chaos that we're having. Anyone who's experiencing those, understand how you approach your reality is the key to your success. Listen to your body. Notice how it responds to all your thoughts, feelings, and actions, the choices that you're making. Stop following ideological theories that you have no evidence for, including theories about nutrition and meditation and spiritual practices. Don't be the blind following the blind. Instead, look and observe what happens when I do this. There are many wonderful teachings, wonderful teachers, but make sure you observe how it's working for you. Otherwise, you're like the person believing in gods and goddesses controlling your reality, and that makes you very disempowered. Try to watch more. Try to slow down that racing mind. Try to be okay being with your body and not running away from it because you think it's a problem. Embrace it with love. Listen to it. Care for it. So many of our problems are because we distanced ourselves from the forms of our reality. Your soul is pure love, so when you embrace your body, mind, and emotion structure, you give it your soul's love. And that alone is deeply healing. Now, we could go on and on and on offering you so much help in this area, but the questions have been answered, and we want to bring our information to an end. We hope that what we shared makes you feel comfortable in yourself and realize you're all on the right path. Everything happening in this universe is moving in the direction of awakening. How we cooperate, how we express ourselves, that's the power we hold. So embrace it. And give the best of yourselves to your life. We thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. We hope that our information and energy has helped. Many blessings, much love. Namaste.